Outside of the injury, everything you talked about, Zach Wilson, you could probably say the same thing about Mac Jones. And though he had more success last year, hearing about maybe some struggles in camp, didn't play the preseason opener. What's it been like? What more can you tell us about having Matt Patricia and Joe Judge in his ear this year?
Yeah, I think that's been the big storyline going into Patriots training camp is how is this going to work post Josh McDaniels? It kind of feels like there's kind of those two voices in his head, whether it be Matt Patricia or Joe Judge calling the offensive plays. Bill Belichick hasn't said who is going to have that responsibility, obviously not naming an offensive coordinator in title going into the year. That's not totally uncommon in New England. I mean, they don't have a defensive coordinator, haven't had one since Matt Patricia, which is something ironic, I guess, now that he's possibly going to be the offensive play caller for them. In the preseason game, they did seem to kind of split responsibilities, Patricia and Judge. So again, we'll see how that kind of works itself out and whether or not that's going to impact Mac Jones going into year two. And for me, the someone who's calling the plays and bringing in the offensive plays is almost a moot point at this point. For me, the bigger, more underrated story for Mac Jones and the Patriots is that they're putting in a new offense. Yes, Josh McDaniels is gone, but also they're reshaping the offense. So, yeah, it's fine. Someone different's going to be in Mac Jones's ear. But for me, I'm more concerned about how this offense is going to look going into 2022. As you saw in training camp, every time they switched to 11 on 11s, things went awry. It didn't look particularly great. They were able to put up points in that preseason game, but for me, when the starters were out there, when you saw them in training camp, they really seemed to struggle. And for Mac Jones, who had a very encouraging rookie year, over 67% completion percentage for the year, you almost don't want to move off of that. Listen, he had great in that system. Why change it? So for me, that's more concerning than actually who's calling the plays. It's the actual plays on offense that I want to see be executed.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.